Time to take the mask off. For all of us, it's really time to take the mask off. Treatment is a time to finally, after all of these years of living in that lie, all of those lies, it's finally time to take the mask off. Now let's take a look at the lies a minute, because let's take a look at what AA calls the false front. All lies, all caused by addiction. The first series of lies that we tell ourselves is called minimization. That's where we take what is this big, and by a series of mental, mainly unconscious tricks, we make it this big. So I don't drink any more than my friends drink. If anyone was in this kind of pain, they would have to use Oxycontin. Did I take my pills? I don't think I did. I don't think I did. That means I need to take my 2 pills, and being as I didn't take my 2 pills when I should have taken my 2 pills, I really need 4 pills. The person that drinks beer at the end of a week has a sizable aluminum collection which he or she cannot ignore. There are 2 empty plastic trash can bags full of empty, clanky aluminum cans. And you're going out to take out the garbage, and you think to yourself, I hope the garbage guy not going to give you pills for being a drug addict, right? They're not going to get out the prescription pad and call the drugstore if you're using the dope because you're a drug addict. That's not going to work. You got to make up something. You got to lie. Is it working? They will say. And you go, no, it's not. It's not. It's working a little bit. But it's not working enough, and I need something else, more, better, bigger, longer, something like that. It is tricks you're playing inside of our own head, inside of our own mind, lies that we're telling ourselves, because the truth is really scary. I'm drinking too much. I'm using Oxycontin too much. I'm smoking too much pot. I'm using too much. This is not normal. And that goes on a while until it gets big enough that it's not enough to hide the truth. So we need another trick. And this is called rationalization. That is where I rationalize my use. In other words, I have a good enough excuse that for even me, it makes sense. If anybody had a bad back like my bad back, that person, whoever they were, would go to the bad back drug doctor, and they would explain truthfully the badness of the back, and then I would get some pills for the bad back. Now, just as soon as my back clears up, I'm going to stop, because it's not good, and it's expensive. I use alcohol because the economy is bad. And I lost my job. And my wife and my husband and my kids have been ragging at me. And if they just ease up and back off about 4 giant steps and relax and stop picking at me and picking at me and picking at me, I'd stop drinking. All lies. I need to sleep. That's a famous one. I need to sleep. I cannot sleep. If people could not sleep the way I cannot sleep, they would be drinking themselves to sleep, or opium themselves to sleep, or marijuanaing themselves to sleep, or dextromethorphaning themselves to sleep, or methamphetamine themselves to sleep. Because, they need to sleep. You need to sleep. And it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I can't sleep. And the only thing that is going to get me to sleep is to take some dope. Now, there's a history here of sleep is very important, and yet if you take anything for sleep, if you want to screw up your sleep, really screw it up to where you will never sleep right, take something for sleep. Because the brain very quickly catches up in chemistry, structure, and genetics, particularly if you use that thing over about 10 days. Your brain gets used to that thing for sleep, and if it doesn't have that thing for sleep, it's going to keep you awake, and it's going to have you crave that thing for sleep. It's very hard to quit, right? Your very last pill. The nurse gives you the last little Ativan, the last one, or maybe the last little, Subutex goes under the tongue. Oh, God, it's the last one. Oh, baby, be good to me. It's very hard to say goodbye to that because we're so used to thinking that we need it to feel normal. And obviously, your brain on drugs is not normal. And your brain in acute withdrawal is not normal. And your brain in a protracted withdrawal is not normal. So it takes quite a while for you to get your brain back. It takes about 5 years for an alcoholic to sleep normally. It's not good news, but in about 3 months, you'll have your first good night's sleep. And even in treatment, you'll sleep. Okay, we will help you with that. We want you to sleep. We don't want you to lay there all night in torture. We want you to sleep, and we will help you sleep early on. Then the biggest set of lies, the most characteristic set of lies occurs with addicts, and that is denial. Not a river in Egypt. It is a defense mechanism. It is a stubborn, angry refusal to see the truth. Now, people that love us try to tell us the truth. Honey, do you think it's got anything to do with the drinking? Do you think it's got to do with those handfuls of Oxycontin that you're eating every few hours here? You think it's got anything to do with that? Think it's got anything to do with the beer? No. Have you been drinking? No. You're asking that again? You're kind of paranoid. Why don't you just trust me, Mom, Dad, husband, wife, kids? Why don't you just trust me? We did trust you. We did trust you. We did trust you. Remember, you said you were over at Brenda's house? Yeah. Well, we called Brenda. Brenda said she hadn't seen you. Oh, yeah? Oh, well, I wasn't at Brenda's house. I was at Barbara's house. Well, we called Barbara. Barbara said she hadn't seen you. Oh, yeah? Well, I don't really know where I was. What do you want to know where I was for? You know? So we try and get angry enough that people will shut up and leave us alone. We may even use our big armament, and we might sulk. I'll teach them. I'll teach them. I'll make their life a living hell. I won't say nothing. Honey? Is there anything wrong? So in treatment, for the first time in a long time, and it's going to be really scary. Because you've been afraid that if these lies come out, you're going to get murdered. Not true. If these lies come out, we're going to love you. That's the truth. We're going to love you. And for the first time in a long time, not surrounded by all of those lies and protected with all of those lies and empty and isolated and alone inside because of those lies, that real love is going to get in for the first time in a long time. First time now, you're surrounded with a bunch of people that understand you, that care about you, that understand drug use, drug addiction, and how crazy it gets, that understands all the lies. We also told the story that we're from the CIA, the DEA. I went to Vietnam and Iraq and Afghanistan and jumped out of an airplane at 50,000 feet. And I was at the pool, and I was the lifeguard that day when that little kid fell in, and I turned to everybody and I said, stand back. Don't try this at home. Ain't a joke in there. Got to stop those old lies. Even though they work, and even though they get you a lot of attention, and even though they get a laugh, you got to stop telling those lies. If lies surround you, no one will ever know you. No one will ever understand you. No one will ever be able to like you or to love you. So now we're surrounded with a bunch of strangers here, all addicts. And we're going to just let it all hang out and tell the truth. Those that recover will get honest. This program demands, AA says, rigorous honesty. That leaves no room for lies. Demands rigorous honesty. No room for the phantom. No room for the princess. No room for the president. No room for the big liar. But there's plenty of room for you.